Okay, today I just wanted to go over kind of a Mythic Plus timeline summoning guide for the new influx of players that have joined thanks to their global launch that just happened the other day in DC Dark Legion. I'm just gonna kind of look at all the 40 shard Mythic characters that you have to summon for. I can do other videos on the other rarities if you guys want, but I'll just do a brief overview of them. And then, in my opinion, who should summon for them, if it's everyone, only whales, no one. And then kind of like just to kind of give new players um, a guide for going forward in the game. I will say this guide only applies if you're playing on servers 206 through 225. If it turns out that it doesn't follow the bleed calendar, I'll just take this video down and you'll see a new one up with the same exact premise. But I just figured I would get a head start of it's easier to just instead of answering everybody individually in the Discord server, much easier to just say it in a video. Okay, so the first character we have is the first character that'll everyone who's playing right now for global launch is seeing, and that's Superman. He is just the best character in the game. He is a warrior. He's kind of like supposed to be an off tank. He does insane damage. He has insane survivability. He just kind of does everything. Like he has physical. He has a debuff on. He's a CC ability here, crowd control, stunning ability on his freeze breath. He gets a self buffing. On defense, and then he's going to get even more powerful once we get more Superman family characters, and then his ult is pretty much just a free nuke on anybody, and also increases zone attack. So he's just pretty gnarly. You're going to just want to... He's, in my opinion, a summon until his banner runs out. There's not really any reason to skip him, unless you're okay with just kind of progressing at your own pace and ignoring, like, metas and... you're just playing like for the PvE aspects of this game. That's the only excuse I can see for skipping him. He's just a beast. So definitely summon for him. And then after banners should last. I'm not sure. I want to say a couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe. Once the previous banner hits 7 days left, that's when the next banner will drop. So the next banner, the next character that will be featured after Superman is going to be Joker. Joker just right before launch got a bit of a buff. It's kind of a rework, but just in general a net buff. His role is he's also just a nuker, but his main issue is he's far and away the best character for combat cycle. He's very good in long-term game modes, but he kind of struggles a bit in short-term game modes. Training simulator, meta brawl, even just the story mode. He's not the best, but you are probably going to need him if you want to push the Arkham stage of training survival. But yeah, he's an intimidator. He's an intimidator. He's only on Arkham Most Wanted for now, and he's only weapon master. He is very much spiritual damage debuffing character. He's just going to be loading with Joker Venom, which basically, as you heard here, just spiritual damage equal to 6%. It's gonna... No, never mind. Just spiritual damage equal to 6% of the Joker's attack per second, and it can stack up to 100 times. So he's pretty gross for high tier content. I think his third skill will also give him a self buff if he has Arkham's Most Wanted allies. He's how a lot of the people in server 201 actually pushed over 100 million within the first month of playing the game, scoring over 100 million in the combat cycle. Pretty gross. Very good character. However, I think for the majority of the people, just getting him to 5 white is probably fine. I mean, if you want to top combat cycle leaderboards, push for him. But if you don't really care about combat cycle, you're kind of progressing at your own pace, I wouldn't stress about getting too many copies of him. Definitely get at least one. I mean, ideally you want 2 copies of every character so you can have all their skills, or two copies of all Mythic Plus characters, so you can have all their skills. But it's, I don't know, you just if you're not like a super whale, you should definitely get him, but you don't need to break the bank for him. Um, and then after Joker, the third character is Scarecrow. They kind of follow a theme. You'll notice, like, aside from Superman, he's kind of the odd one out. The rest of the characters go like in order of team. Sorry, not tag. Um, Scarecrow here is a guardian. He piggybacks really well with Joker because he's very much about spreading debuffs and doing spiritual damage. Um, he just is kind of just he's a very good tank. Um, but he is definitely something that if you're not really like a super whale, you can honestly just like straight up skip him. He has insane synergy. If you want Joker and if you want to build either of the two Legion of Doom 40 shard characters in Deathstroke and Sinestro, then you're gonna want him just because his main value is that he has being on both Arkham's Most Wanted and Legion of Doom. He can synergize those teams very well. So like one of the teams me and my buddy Quantum have pretty much like always said is probably going to be insane for certain whales is um, the the combination of these two because you can basically get I think it's four Mythic plus characters on one team all buffing each other. Like they're not like you're not just like randomly throwing four random characters together. They actually will synergize with each other because of Scarecrow. But you also don't really need to push him super high because his main value isn't really his damage or his tankiness or his. He'll get his debuff spreading on just 0 star, but his main value comes from being able to synergize those two teams together. Yeah, so he's going to be the third character. He'll be when Joker hits 7 days. You'll see Scarecrow. Then after Scarecrow, we move into Legion of Doom. And the next character is going to be Deathstroke. You'll see I didn't actually pull for him because I was hard saving for Sinestro at this time. Because Deathstroke is not someone you should be going for if you're not a super whale. The character just kind of needs to be in the high, like, purple stars. So you're going to have to pull him, like, 15 or 20 times for him to be super, super useful. Which is just really not useful. It's kind of a waste of anvils for free-to-play players. He's really just, like... I mean, he's very good. You will see the whales in your server, when he drops, will get him up quick, and they'll be dominating in combat cycle with him. So, like, I'm not going to say he's bad, but you have to be ready if you want to build him. You have to be ready to just commit to going all the way, because he's not really that good in, like, the blue star. He really needs to be out of the blue star range, where I would say the other three characters, Superman, Joker, and Scarecrow, all don't need to necessarily be out of that range. He definitely needs to be in the purples at the very least. But he is definitely the best backline nuker. He's an assassin, so he's kind of just like, Robin is kind of like, Damian Wayne Robin is kind of just the budget version of him. He's very good, and I mean, I'm sure you'll use him if you use him in Darkest Timeline, you'll notice he's very, very strong. Very good at deleting backlines. Honestly, a good counter to Poison Ivy and Training Simulator for you whales that will pull him, and if you're stuck in, you'll notice, I can go over Training Simulator in another video, but yeah, he's very much focused on backline deletion. He's pretty glass cannon-y. If he gets looked at, he will just explode in a lot of cases. But yeah, very solid character. You will see him a lot, but if you're not a whale, I would honestly strongly recommend just skipping him completely like I did. And then after Deathstroke, we continue the Legion of Doom theme, and the next character is going to be Sinestro. I'm sorry, Sinestro. Sinestro is a magical character. He is just a chain. He's focused on doing chain DPS damage. But he's a character that is meant to just nuke weaker, like, fodder characters, and he buffs himself in turn. Like, his second skill here, for every ally, whenever he defeats an enemy, he gains an extra 12% attack. It's more like, I want to say 10%, whatever, at level 1. This is level 2, because I saved for him a lot. But yeah, if you don't even need to run a full Legion of Doom team. I literally just run him, Lex Luthor, and then Scarecrow, and then I run two other characters on the rest of the team. And he just like rips off ultimates, and his ultimate is pretty much outdamming Superman's at this point. It's just very much going to be chain hit damage. He's very good for the Merciless boss, the Murder Machine boss, any of the combat cycle bosses that have multiple enemies, basically, that like it spawns. He's very good for that. Same reason he's very good at hard countering Ivy in Training Simulator. Yeah, it's definitely he's definitely the best DPS. he kind of fights for best spiritual DPS with Joker. Like, people go back and forth. I just put Sinestro because he's good in all game modes, whereas Joker really falls off outside of combat cycle. But yeah, he's definitely the best magical character for now. And then after Sinestro, the next character to come out is Zatanna. She's a supporter, but she's not a supporter in the healing way. She's a support in the buffing way, in which she buffs her team. She is the best support for spiritual characters, and she also does a lot of damage herself. Like, she's a very, very strong character. The thing with Justice League Dark as a team, though, is the few. I think it's, at least in this stage of the game, in this early game, it is the only team where you need all 5 characters built. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Yeah, Justice League Dark. You need all 5 of these characters, and you need them all pretty built up. These guys don't really work great aside from Wonder Woman, I will say. They don't really. They're the least plug and play, I would say. They're very much built off of each other. And the whole team is just kind of built off of being, like, annoying, living, and while Constantine just slowly whittles you away. So, if you don't either care for, say, Zatanna or Constantine, I would just honestly skip these guys completely. They're just not very good in their own regards. You'll see some plug and play with Zatanna, but Constantine especially is definitely going to need that Justice League Dark to really utilize his skill set fully. And that's just kind of it. They're definitely the most stally team in the game. They're meant to just live. They're meant to annoy you. They're meant to run down the clock, which is fine for PvP defense. Not great in other game modes. And then, I don't know. They're just, this is just in the context of if you have to skip certain characters, if you don't want to build either a full Justice League Dark team, or you don't like, say, Dr. Fate, whatever. If you don't like one of these characters, you don't want to focus on one of these characters, I would not go super crazy on them. You can, of course, pull for them. I'm not going to, I'm not, whatever. I'm just trying to, settle some of the FOMO and just kind of, as someone who's been playing for a while and has a lot of experience with the game, just giving my knowledge. You don't have to listen to it, but... anyways, after Zatanna, we follow the same theme of Justice League Dark, and Constantine is next. He's not out on my server. He's about to come out in a couple days, I think a week from now. I know a lot of my friends really want to get him up quick. He's looking pretty strong, but I think he has the same issue of he just struggles if he's not in a full JLD team. And he's also damaged over time, so he's not going to be nuking. He's going to be slowly chipping away. I'm just going to switch over to collection here so you can see his skills. See out yet? Yeah, so, yeah, you can see here, very much more, he's just more AoE, or DOT, he's going to get burned. This skill is, based off of, he gets attacked for Justice League Dark. It's very much, he really has this one active skill, and the rest of these two are passive skills, and this is another, and his ult is an active skill. He's not going to nuke, but he does do really good damage. I'm not going to undermine his damage. He's a good character. If you like him, definitely summon for him. He's definitely worth it. He's definitely worth saving for. But you just should also have Constantine. You should also be ready to have Zatanna ready and be ready to build. Just the rest of that team with Dr. Fate, Raven, Wonder Woman. And Zatanna. Okay. So then after that, if you want to ever know, by the way, what character is next, join the official Discord server, and then you'll see, I'm going to pull it up. Okay, now that, we're moving over to the official Discord server here. I'm on the desktop version, obviously. If you want to know what character is coming next, we can head to the bleed calendar over here, which you'll see, this is just kind of, it'll show you a brief description of the character skills, which character is coming next, what the week that they're going to be appearing in. So you can, just to prove I'm not lying about this whole entire video. But you can see after Constantine here, what they'll do is they'll tease the next character. So, it says here, it's looking like 200 to 201, this is referring to the servers. We'll get another special repeat. If you're not on these servers, you can obviously ignore that. If you're on these servers, you're probably also not watching this video anyways. But, you can just kind of ignore that comment because usually they need a little extra time in between the characters on those two servers to get them ready. So they've been doing reruns. So like they got a Superman rerun before Zatanna came out, and it looks like they're going to be getting I would assume a Joker rerun. That's just my assumption. I don't know anything. They're getting a Joker rerun next, is my guess. But you'll see after that, the hint is, but after that, be ready to soar. So yeah, they'll do those hints a lot, and I mean it is kind of pretty obvious if you look at just the rest of the roster. To me, it seems pretty obvious that the next character is going to be Hawkgirl. And then that would also make sense because they're going to follow the rest of the tags and do Justice League next, which means Martian Manhunter will probably be after her. I know, I'm sure there's so many Nightwing fans. I see it since the server or the game opened up. They're definitely saving him for something because there were a bunch of Titans characters that were in the game in its various forms, and they've all been slowly just taken out, like Beast Boy, Starfire, Arsenal, Blue Beetle, to name a few, have all been in some version of this game, and they've just been slowly taking them out. So I'm not surprised. They're definitely doing something special because I think they understand there's a lot of hype around this character, and they're definitely doing something special. So he's not coming for a while. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but I think it's a safe bet that Hawkgirl is next. She's gonna have some nice. She's probably gonna be in a more similar situation to Scarecrow. When the collections first dropped, when I was doing early access testing for this game, they accidentally dropped all the skills for all the Mythic Plus characters that weren't available yet. So we did get kind of a sneak peek. This was before even Deathstroke released. I think only Joker was available at the time. We got a sneak peek kind of into what every character kind of looked like, and Hawkgirl was... she looked, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she's changed to a Guardian towards launch, because she was very much focused on just living and debuffing. She wasn't really a damage dealer, like I just, kind of associate with the other warrior class characters. But she's gonna have the insane viability in that she has the Birds of Prey Justice League synergy capabilities. This is gonna be pretty big because it's gonna open up. You can run something like Hawkgirl frontline, and Harley Quinn frontline. Harley Quinn's also another fantastic character. You can run Superman in the back line, and then you can get Ivy on that team to get the boost, and then you can get Batgirl for crit up. You can put Cyborg on that team. It really, the Justice League Birds of Prey combo both have pretty powerhouse characters in that team. She's going to be a very high synergy character. I can't really speak for her actual, damage dealing capabilities, survivability, because she's not out on any server yet. But that's just my initial assumption, again, from a veteran player. I think she's going to be pretty good, and I know a lot of people I talk to are saving for her, ready for her to come out. But yeah, I think she's going to be pretty good. And then assuming they're going to follow in the same pattern with Justice League, we can assume Martian Manhunter is next. Again, he also was his skills are briefly available. Obviously, I'm assuming these are the final version of the skills. We don't know for sure. But I will say, oversimplifying him, he looked essentially like the spiritual version of Batman, but with his damage basically doubled. He just looked like better spiritual Batman. So we'll have to see what he's like when the game comes out. But he looked really, really strong. Way stronger than her, and way stronger than any other skills I saw when it first came out. But yeah, so I think he should be pretty good. I'm not going to speak too much on them because I don't really know too much. And then same with Nightwing. His skills were copy and pasted from the original beta version of this game, so I'm not really sure. So were Deathstrokes, but he got a bunch of number tweaks. But I can't really speak too much on him, but I think Nightwing is going to be very strong, especially with the rework they just did to Red Robin right before launch. Red Robin used to have energy decrease. Now he has crit resistance decrease. That's going to be insane for Nightwing, because I will say Nightwing was a top-tier character in the original version. Any version that has had Nightwing, he has been a top-tier character. So he's definitely a character to keep an eye out on. Um, but yeah, he's definitely. I'm sure a lot of you guys are gonna be ready to spend on him. So yeah, kind of brief oversimplification here of all the Mythic Plus characters. Superman, summon until his banner ends. Best character in the game. Joker, shoot for 2 copies. If you're a whale, you need him in the red stars if you wanna have a chance at topping the combat cycle leaderboards late game. Joker, Scarecrow. If you're a light spender, free to play player, just try and get 1 copy. It's not the end of the world if you don't get any more. If you're a whale, take a break for him, save up for the next characters, because you can definitely put some good stars on him and see some results, but he's not the highest value that you can put in. Deathstroke, if you're not a whale, skip, get 1 copy. I mean, I think a lot of people want to at least get 1 copy of these characters for just completionism. It's fine. Like, just get 1 copy. If you're free to play, if you're a whale, you're gonna want him as high as you can. If you again want to compete with the leaderboards. Sinestro, everyone needs to summon on him. He's going to be Sinestro and Joker are my top 2, where it's like you need to summon until they leave. They are just that good. They are that good. And then after that, we're going to go back down to Zatanna. If you don't want to build Justice League Dark, I wouldn't really recommend summoning for her. I don't think she's that impactful. I could be wrong, obviously, again. But I just, she really needs her team, and because there's not many other spiritual damage dealers, since she's so focused on spiritual character buffing. She's not super impactful. Constantine, same thing as Zatanna. If you're not planning on building Justice League Dark, I would skip him. But personal preference, whatever. Yeah, I guess that kind of covers it. I won't go over these last 3 because they're not out yet. But I just kind of wanted to, showcase some of the different characters and just kind of give a brief description of, who you should be going for and whatnot. I do also want to mention super quick, just going over and looking at the bleed. It's Zatanna because it's on my server. It's the same for everyone, so like this will look the same regardless of what server you're on. Just gonna go over rates super quick. So you'll see the 26% chance, whatever. This shows you all the characters you can get. Breaking this down because there's a lot of text, and I'm someone whose brain sees a lot of text and they can't read it very well. All you need to take away from this is, so you'll see here, this will say 50 if you haven't summoned on it or if you just hit pity. Pity basically means a guaranteed mythic champion or legacy piece, which could be just a lot of jumping, sorry. Any of these, except for any character that is 10 shards to unlock, who's a mythic character, is under that, and then any legacy piece, which you can see in collection here, any of these legacy pieces. So it can be any of those for 3. In the worst case scenario, you will pull 3, a combination of 3 mythic legacy pieces or characters, and then that 4th character will be the character you see here, the character featured, the guaranteed mythic plus character. So doing some math, that means guaranteed pity to get 1 copy of the character is 200 anvils. To get 5 stars and unlock 5 white stars and unlock all skills is 400 anvils, and it kind of it's gonna keep going up from there. I can pull back up. I can pull up my spreadsheet here where I have it kind of broken down to you. This is the Mythic Plus characters. So 27 copies for 5 red. It's just to get. This will show. So it's 1 copy from 0 to 5 white. Etc. 27 total. This is the big number you have to worry about. 27 total to max out a Mythic Plus character. It's 104 total for a regular Mythic character. Which, to get guaranteed 5 red Mythic Plus, you're going to need 5,400 anvils. Just so you guys know. Red 5ing these characters is obviously not going to be feasible for a lot of the player base, but just so you guys know. Yeah, that's kind of it. If you have any specific questions, I'll do my best to follow them up in the comment section, or you can just DM me on the official Discord. I'm also in Quantum's Discord and Unstable's Discord and Justice Society on 204's Discord. just send me a DM. Same name. You'll find me easiest on the main server because I'm a mod there. But yeah, I'm happy to answer questions. Hope this is helpful in some way.